In this section, we will talk about Hyper-V networking. So guys, when we create any virtual machine and if we want them to communicate with other devices on the network, we need to connect the virtual machines to a switch. So this is our lab, guys. So we have server 1 and the IP address of the server 1 is 10.0.0.1 and server 2 IP address is 10.0.0.2. Imagine they are connected to a physical switch and they communicate with each other. After that, what we have done, we have installed the Hyper-V on server 2. We have installed the Hyper-V on 10.0.0.2. Then we have created two virtual machines, virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 2. Now our requirement is to make these two virtual machines communicate with each other. These two virtual machines should communicate with each other. These virtual machines should communicate with server 2 as well, 10.0.0.2. They should communicate with the other devices like 10.0.0.1 as well. So to make these virtual machines communicate with the other devices, we need to connect these two virtual machines to a virtual switch. All right. So we need to create a virtual switch here. Then we will connect these two virtual machine to this virtual switch and they will communicate with the other devices. There are three types of switches in Hyper-V. We have private switch, internal switch, and external switch. If we connect these two virtual machines to private switch, this private switch will allow these two virtual machines to communicate with each other. These two virtual machines, they will not communicate with the host server. They will not communicate with the other device if you select the private switch. Let us say you have selected the internal switch. With internal switch, these two virtual machines will communicate with each other and they will communicate with the host server as well, but they will not communicate with the other devices. Our requirement is like we want these two virtual machines should communicate with each other. They should communicate with the host server and they should communicate with the other devices as well. Then we should select the external switch. So based on your requirement, you will select the type of switch. We are going to use the external switch. So to connect VMs to a virtual switch, okay, we want to connect these virtual machines to the virtual switch. We need to create the switch first. They are not created automatically. We need to create this virtual switch manually. Okay, then we associate these VMs with that switch. Then we will connect these virtual machines to this switch. This allows VMs to communicate with other devices based on the type of switch they are connected to.